Hello, Team Viksit Bharat Buildathon 2025. We're Team Pegasus. Today we're going to be showing you our submission for Viksit Bharat Buildathon 2025, which is Project Exodus, idea that could revolutionize how the internet works forever. But before we start bringing our ideas to you, first I'd like to make my team be introduced to you. First up is me, Aditya Bhatt. I am a student from Delhi Public School, Harni, class 70. I am the team leader of Team Pegasus. I wrote the project Exodus paper and this presentation that you're about to view. Next up, we have Ayan.
Hi, I am Aayan Gautam. I am a student of DPS Harni class 7D. I am a feedback collector of the Team Pegasus and I have been taking the role of customer in our brainstorming process.
Next up, we have Nikit.
Uh, Good morning. Myself, Nikit. I study in class 7D, a student of Delhi Public School, Harni. Throughout our process of developing this idea, I helped with the technical aspects of it and with the key research.
Thank you, Nikit. Next, we have Riyansh.
Hi guys, I am Riyansh Patel, student at the DPS class 7C. I am the business manager at the Team Pegasus. I was the person responsible for converting the research into an outline for a business plan.
Thank you, Riyansh. Next up, we have Prabhav.
Yeah, hello to everyone. I'm Prabhav, studying in class 7th H, and I'm the analyst at Team Pegasus. And I brought the problem to my team that we are gonna solve today.
Thank you, Prabhav. These were the five folks whose work you're about to witness. Now we have Nikit about to explain some things about decentralization.
Thank you. Decentralization is the core idea of this project. And decentralization is not just the death of control, it's a rebirth of collective power. Because with decentralization, there comes increased resilience and fault tolerance. That is, our network is less susceptible to single points of failure or attacks. There is greater transparency and trust in decentralization. There is enhanced security and privacy in decentralization. It promotes innovation and competition. And lastly, it empowers individuals and communities.
Thank you, Nikit. Now we have Prabhav to introduce you to some mind-blowing metrics and statistics about internet and the world population.
32%. This is the world. This is the percent the world population doesn't have the internet access. 32% of the world population is more than 2.6 billion people. 2.6 billion people held back by their wages who could use the internet to better their lives. Small amounts of data can cost people up to half their yearly salary in developing nations. And it's not just the cost that's holding them back. Poor internet infrastructure in these countries is also a major reason why, apart from 32% that don't have internet access, many with internet access can't utilize the power of internet to its fullest extent.
So, what do people want? To find it out, we took feedbacks. What do the consumer needs? And how do we implement that into a way that they can easily get it? We gave them three options: fast internet, cheap internet, or unlimited internet. And what customer want is all of the above.
And that is why we ask three important questions. The first question is, how do we make this cheap? Current broadband hardware can have insane prices, but if there isn't any infrastructure, they're useless. Satellite internet does not need infrastructure, but the costs are too high. The second question is, how do we make it unlimited? Unlimited data cannot be achieved by mobile data, and our previous options are solutions, but they don't match our cost criteria. The third question, how do we make it fast? If those two were not big problems, this one's bigger. Broadband goes in the bin and satellite internet is not fast enough for us. So, what next?
And thus we found our solution hidden. We realized that we should change the network topology. Instead of having a central router in a star formation which controls our access to our network, why don't we make the internet a mesh of devices instead? And it's the hard way. If you have a device, that should be all you need. By installing an app into your phone, you would have the ability to connect to others with the app. The amount of data you help transfer is the amount of data you get to use, essentially unlimited. And because this is a mesh network, every added device, instead of slowing and cluttering down the network, you're boosting speeds. And physics throw in a few another benefits for us. And by dividing the data transaction into multiple hops, the inverse square law means that we're using up to 16 times less power than beaming radio waves to a cell tower far from your home. And because the electricity usage is distributed among multiple devices, instead of having grids that fuel large servers, where the power consumption is divided all across the world. And we didn't stop there. If we continue manipulating these features that made this app idea amazing, why don't we make a special router that manipulates these same features? So we decided to whip up a rough specification sheet. We decided on an ARM-based processor to keep it fast and low power consuming. We chose Wi-Fi modules at 4G speeds for the maximum amount of range. We chose helical antennas that you manipulate electronically phased arrays, which allows them to control where radio waves are pointing without actually changing the position of the antenna. And there's a low single time cost of $350 adjusted for different countries to make sure that it's affordable for everyone. Next up, we have Riyansh explaining the business model.
Stages of Project Accident. First, the app. Named FENs because it sounds cool is the first stage of Project Exodus. The first stage. The solution we told you about in the previous slide, that's the FENs app. Available on every major app store for download. Everyone can join the network in the click of a button and start transacting data through their phones in just a few minutes. Then the router. The router named Chimera, because it sounds cool, is the second stage of Project Exodus. The router we discussed in the previous slide is Chimera, sold in two classes, the base model and the flagship model. Both have the four major principles we discussed in the previous slide, but have variations in RAM, storage, and quantity of Wi-Fi modules and antennas. Note that Chimera can only launch if FENs is a success. Finally, spread. The possibilities become endless if these projects are launched successfully. But that can be only done if everyone knows about FENs and Chimera. Proper marketing and support from the government can make this project a success. If it does amass a large under base, eventually, it could be turned into a crowdsourced platform.
And before you team stop watching this video, here's a little sneak peek of what the app Ephesians would look like if it was developed. This is a mock-up of Ephesians on Android and iOS devices, and it would show how many devices with Ephesians are near you, how much data access you have how much data access you have amassed, and when you connect to when you connect to the Ephesians network, it will show you how much internet speeds you are getting and how much data you have left and how much data you are currently processing. Thanks for watching.